Warning. This game's setting revolves around an active Middle East combat zone and contains references to extreme violence, graphic content, and other mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
The Rancor's Brothel presents.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all these crazy questions they're asking me? The craziest body that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights 'cause I don't wanna see. Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way to have fun, son.
Iconoclasts, a campaign of horrors modern and ancient.
Open up the window, let some air into this room. I think I'm almost choking from the smell of stale perfume and the cigarette you're smoking. Don't scare me half to death. Open up the window, let me catch my breath. Mama told me not to come.
The phone rings. It's a different number.
Yep.
Make sure you put the ringtone in there.
Mulatto butts. Fucking love Archer. Susan, what in God's name are you doing? You're taking an awful chance. And I'm taking a chance even calling you back. Aramaic is not that hard to translate.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, we've already dealt with one of these, somebody from a previous iteration of the program.
The originals.
The originals. He is currently in custody and provided us intel. But from the sounds of what he told us, there are more.
Fuck.
And we're trying to find out what we're not being told.
Yeah, I can understand that. So what's your plan then?
Try and find a way to contact assets in the area. With that,
original assets?
yep,
I would be shocked if they're in the field.
they were on site
Less than a month ago. They were contacted by a friendly to come and acquire an object and get it out of the area.
He swears softly some more under his breath.
Yeah.
And the program, how did the program get a hold of this then?
He was desperate enough that he went to the program, said, "This is happening. You guys need to sort it out."
You need to be very, very careful, my dear. This is...
Oh, I'm already ass deep in it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. These guys don't like to come in out of the cold. They don't want to work with the program.
Right. I'm not asking them to come in out of the cold. I just need information. I don't care if it's something I get in a dead drop. I just need to find out what's going on.
And the contact didn't provide you enough information.
He might have, but I don't know what the handler is not telling us. He was literally sitting in an interrogation room with the handler present and shutting him down when we asked certain questions.
Sounds accurate. The originals operate on a very different set of parameters. They're way more interested in playing cowboys and natives than they are in protocol and structure.
I gathered that from the one that we met.
It is for them to deploy to the field, to an active war zone, is an unbelievable overreach of my entire understanding of what little I know, which is next to nothing. That was not done lightly. And the fact that that asset burned himself to speak to the program, that man may be in Guantanamo Bay for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So this is not small.
So how far back do your experiences go? You don't have any contacts that you could send our way, even indirectly.
I could try, but that is incredibly dangerous for everyone involved. Like I said, they're almost certainly stateside. Their organization is shadowed, compartmentalized. It's not as if I can just post something on social media. I can look into it, but I would not rely on it.
No.
What about birthday invitations?
No, we're doing the work. We're on the ground. We're going to figure it out one way or another. If we can get information from that avenue, that would just push us along even further. And maybe give us a heads up before we step on a landmine.
Okay.
Because I know there's more here. I know there's more going on than we're being told, but we're being sent down the mine shaft to be the canaries.
But what? I mean, I don't understand the specifics, but
I'm not telling you the specifics for very specific reasons.
I understand that. And I appreciate that because, again, we're already taking a huge risk here with this transatlantic call. For them to have gone to the program, they must have thought it big enough that they couldn't handle themselves. Most of the time when messes get cleaned up from the originals, it's a lot of putting out fires and burying bodies.
There's been some of those. Yeah.
If they couldn't, the only reason they would come to us is if they couldn't kill it or destroy it, which leads me to believe that it's gotten inexorably worse.
Containment seems to be what we're leaning towards.
Beware things that come out of Pandora's box, dear. I don't know. I can try.
Yeah, I don't want you putting yourself in more danger than you need to, but if you have anything you could send our way.
It's a dangerous business, but I will try.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Be careful.
Trying to. We're in the middle of a war zone, and something else is here, and
all right,
we're already ass deep.
I will contact you again at this number. I assume that you can continue to maintain a secure line here.
Yes.
Okay.
I am assured of that.
I am going to dispose of this one.
Yep.
It may take me some time before I can contact you again. Is there anything else I can do to help? You mentioned you mentioned translating Akkadian. Obviously, I can't help there.
Yeah.
But
what about Greek?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's your Greek?
Egyptologist, that's what you gave me.
I know.
And you told me he was British. You had 2 chances there to really cook your books.
Yep, I did.
Unfortunately, not my speciality. There are plenty of horrific monstrosities in Northeast Africa that I've specialized in. Greek and ancient Assyrian ones, not so much.
You got ties to England, though.
That is true. Where was it? The wind's unknown to a Dodd, but he's not in England right now.
I know, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have somebody at the museum in England as an Egyptologist.
Yeah.
Who would potentially have the ability to communicate cataloged information for the best.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was the British Museum, but I cannot remember.
That's what I remember it as.
Correct. The British Museum holds clay tablets excavated from the Library of Ashurbanipal.
She will relay that information.
Whoa. You're not considering going to England, are you?
Nope. I'm wondering if you have anybody who has that stuff documented that you could forward to us.
Have you talked to your handler about going to England?
No.
You're going to need, unless you have contacts, you're going to need a visa to enter the country.
Okay.
Passport's not good enough?
We're not the only ones playing this game, dear. British Museum is not our turf.
Okay.
If you don't ask for permission, let's put it this way, don't get caught.
Interesting.
I haven't been home in many, many years.
Fucking dealing with the Kingsmen? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, it sounds like there's some kind of British version of DG.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff doesn't know anything about
Nope.
that. Hastings probably doesn't know anything about that.
You're all learning something new that I've never brought up before. If you hadn't thought to ask him and you'd gone to England, it would have been real interesting.
Okay.
I'm giving you all kinds of nuggets for free. You guys
You
think
are.
I'm not a benevolent god.
Shut the fuck up. You're not.
Although, because Rassam had ties with MI6,
He did.
that might be another.
That is true. Okay. We will.
Wonder if this isn't the first time Rassam's wrangled these a version of these clay tablets for somebody.
Yeah.
Well, you would know that those the library tablets were excavated in the 19th century. So unless he's really, really, really fucking old,
That doesn't mean he wasn't brought in when he was in England to help translate.
possibly.
Okay, so we've got the idea to get a hold of somebody through MI6. We have no idea how to do that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't see any reason why most of you would have any contacts with MI6. That's going to be kind of hard cross-departmentally. You know what I mean?
I mean, is there like a bureaucracy thing where we can try and figure out what this other organization is?
You could call your handler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you might, there's a lot of connections between intelligence agencies.
It would be an ask of Irene.
I think if we just go one level up, I think we could get in contact with MI6. Not super easily, but
Well, MI6 is one thing, but is that the same organization that he's talking about?
Right. Yeah.
And I doubt the CIA would have any information about that.
Could ask him who we asked for who do we ask for permission? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Or we could just go get the sat phone.
I just like Flight of the Valkyries with you moving at 8 miles an hour through the desert on a backhoe.
It's on a trailer.
I believe we have somebody with explosives knowledge. We will get that fucking bunker.
Yeah. Yeah, ask the question.
Even if we have to collapse the sumbitch to do it.
Okay.
Luck roll, Jeff. Give me a call. I'm rolling it.
Low. Okay.
Yep.
For the record, that was a fail on the luck roll. I've got to get better at verbalizing the results of T rolls and not just rolling my eyes.
So what's next?
So that was a call from Baghdad. Azim is in Greece, still studying.
And Nasser's got the meetup with Peshmerga tonight. Right?
Peshmerga, yeah. Peshmerga would be next.
Well, that's right. We can do that.
Yeah. Eventually.
Before we leave, were you going to ask who do we ask? Like, does your contact know the name of British DG? Did we ask that?
I don't think we asked specifically, no.
No. Even on a secure line, he seemed hesitant to say.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Okay.
Okay. Eventually Hastings is going to contact the handler once we get back around to that.
Sure. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do the Peshmerga?
Go ahead. Switch to someone else.
Sure.
Yep.
Just act like you didn't know that Jen called the handler.
Do we have a back door?
Doesn't.
Yeah.
You sons of bitches!
What were you asking about backdoors?
Do we have a back door into the application that we gave the Peshmerga?
I'm pretty sure that was well established.
Yeah.
Any dev has a backdoor into whatever they create.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever heard of Huawei?
Mr. Landry, my friend, welcome. It is nice to see you again. You are not at the same camp you were before. You have moved closer to Mosul.
Yep.
We appreciate the lovely gift that you have provided. It has been incredibly useful, my friend.
I hope it serves you well.
Yes.
And I value our relationship, and more gifts will be provided.
Good. No, we appreciate that.
Our common enemy,
Yes.
will be defeated and has been being defeated by your fighters, I see.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we have made some excellent moves into the field.
What was his name?
Al-Jabari.
Hopefully Al-Jabari was a gift.
Yeah. We have been doing some fighting of our own. Have you heard of Al-Jabari?
I mean, Al-Dawa, yes.
We engaged his troops, eliminated many, and we're wondering if you had heard about the big man himself and if he had been killed.
I will do this since you've provided such secure communications.
He'll also say, more importantly, were your fighters clear from Versam's before we attacked? Did you have anyone on the premises?
No.
Okay, good.
You were involved with that, I presume.
Yes, we were.
He turns and whispers something. It was Kurdish, which I assume none of you know.
Mary does. She is in Baghdad.
Because I seem to remember Landry before that they were speaking in Kurdish, and nobody who was there was speaking Kurdish.
It's Arabic. That's what he knows.
You could probably start training in that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I would allow that. Make a note of it, and I would allow some training in it. It's probably not going to get very high, but I would allow a few points here and there. Yeah, enough to get the basics.
Yeah.
He speaks to somebody in Kurdish. He says, "I will attempt to see if we have any confirmation of Al-Jabari. I presume, though, you did not travel all this way to make pleasantries and to see the advancing line. You've come to ask for something, yes?"
Yes, our very important mission in this fight means that we need to get into Mosul.
Brave, he says, looking you up and down. You don't exactly look like a local.
No, and it may not specifically be me, but
Sure.
part of our team.
Sure.
And we know one of your strong suits is knowing people.
I
having
have people in
connections.
Mosul.
Yes.
How can I help?
Are there any rat lines, ways to get into the city that we could ensure that we bypass the defenses and
I don't
do some
know.
investigating?
I don't know if our friendship has extended that far, but yes, we have our ways in and out of Mosul.
Well, time is of the essence. To prove our friendship, what else can we do to aid you in your fight of our common enemy?
Now Spencer's the one giving away your money.
It doesn't have to be money. Did it cost us money? Did we pay developers to make that app? No, we got shit. We got shit. They need shit.
I appreciate your offer. I'm not sure. I think that the biggest issue is that these men and women who travel across Mosul lines do so surreptitiously and at a great cost. Taking a party who doesn't know how to do that is a great risk.
Yes, ma'am. If we can provide intel for us from inside Mosul.
Right. What if these people who are already inside Mosul and lines of communication, could provide us maybe some of the information we're seeking?
Such as?
All right. This is where I'll pause and make sure that we get everything that we need. So
Survivors from the attacks, Sons of War, Ruins of Nineveh.
yeah.
Survivors from the initial attack on Rasam.
Can we make this go faster, Cody? And can is this list suffice? Can I present you, Cody, the GM, with these questions?
Yeah, it depends on what you. It just depends on what you guys want to ask.
Yeah. So I think information about survivors of those attacks.
Sure.
Information about Sons of War. What else?
We know specifically that some of the survivors were taken to Alcanza Hospital, if that makes a difference.
We could probably drop names from those.
The Ham family, Haim, I believe, is one of them.
Yeah, but the ones that mentioned going to the hospital were
That's right. The Ham family just had missing people.
yeah, the ones that went to the hospital were people from, I think it was a patrol at the university, but I'm looking.
Spencer,
Seven ISIL fighters were found skinned on the campus of Mosul University. 2 vanished, 2 were injured and were transported to Alcanza Hospital.
make your bureaucracy roll plus 20%, Spencer.
8 were found dead in the streets of that district. 3 others escaped with injuries and were transported to Alcanza Hospital as well.
Okay.
Under 90. Here's another thought, and I want to hear what you guys think. So it really makes sense that getting in and out of the city, is a small team thing, 1-2 people. If we could send one person.
Let's split up, gang.
No, well, I mean, we've done it before. I mean, to just have one person in there that could hold their own in the infiltration, that wouldn't be a risk to the Peshmerga intelligence agent as much, and but also be able to gather information once inside. I don't know. How big of a team would we send anyway? Like we're not going to send all of us into Mosul. That's
when we go, we'll have cover identities, so our nationalities won't be a thing.
Yeah,
we'll be people from another nation going for other reasons. So
we will.
I
want to
know if the Kurdish know why the police and military units were ordered out of Nineveh, the ruins of Nineveh.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, that definitely.
You talk about some of your concerns. He says, yes, some of these we can look into for you. Particularly the hospital records. We have contacts that should be easy enough. Some of these other things would be more difficult. I can see what we can do. A man comes up and whispers to him in Kurdish. I can give you this, though. Some of my men did... there's been no news, but some of my men can confirm that Al-Jabiri was seen yesterday.
Interesting.
He appeared to be... His movements have become more difficult to track. My guess is your attempt to crush him under a few stories of rubble... has spooked him a bit.
Right. Elusive man. Could have sworn he would have died in an airstrike.
Fucking Mary Jane.
Yeah. He didn't go into the house. There were some luck rolls involved. There's a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so what piqued your interest while that was going on?
It was actually me thinking that we need to warn Kazim that there may be other organizations that he needs to be on the lookout for.
Okay.
The Greek Delta Green, for example.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's a thing. I didn't know there was a British one.
Yep.
So,
Yep. This is what is exciting. You're learning something new, Jeff.
right.
Yeah.
And it's making me think differently about decisions that we've made.
Well, good news is Hastings is off the phone and can be making that phone call currently.
Yeah.
So the conversation with Landry continues with pleasantries and drink and food and,
And there's
general
there's
goings-on.
nothing else that we can do for not really.
You sort of made your asks. I mean, it's not something he can necessarily just put in his WhatsApp that you designed him and send it, and he's going to get an immediate response. It's going to take some time.
Oh yeah. I just meant, is there anything else we can be working towards to, increase
Continue
our,
to assist
it's
them.
like your Pokemon heart level.
Yeah.
We want to go up in the friendship.
We need the
Yeah,
Grinch to get three sizes.
you took him a bottle of Kentucky bourbon or something.
Yeah.
It-
Gift.
It,
ding ding.
It doesn't hurt, but yes, you are kind of going tit for tat. You did tit, he's returning tat, so you need to, come back with something else.
Want some more titaz.
Yep.
All right.
Jeff,
Yes.
Susan wanted to call.
Oh, yeah. Susan's
Gwen?
going to call
Oh, I
Gwen.
can't wait for
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Gwen.
I'm gonna get my popcorn. This is gonna be
Uh,
good.
I'm gonna go take a
Bureaucracy roll.
Call on the unsecured line.
16 under 40.
Surprisingly, the phone call goes right through. Hello?
It's Colonel, isn't it?
I think it's Colonel Gwen, yeah.
Colonel, this is Hastings.
What the fuck are you doing out there?
I'm doing what the fuck you told me to do.
Well, some of you may be, but not all of you are. Did you bomb a building?
No.
Oh, fuck's sake. I need regular reports, or how am I supposed to support you in the field?
You
What the
haven't
fuck
called
is
for a
going on?
report once.
Okay. We made it to Rassams. We recovered a bunch of clay tablets that we are in Baghdad cataloging and trying to translate to dig out what we can from old legends and things like that to find out what this thing is.
So you took potential vectors out of the home and took them to the largest city in the area.
They are being kept offsite. We have one asset that is helping us translate who is being kept in control.
Should also just tell them that, the largest digitally cataloged version of what we're looking at is already in the British Museum.
Yes.
If you're worried about the vectors here, you should maybe worry about them there.
Yeah, there was already part of what we have in the Baghdad Museum, and there is more in the British Museum. We didn't have any problem getting into the Baghdad Museum, but is there anything that we need to do to get into the British Museum?
You need to go to London for this.
Yes.
You're sure?
If we get to the end of the research that we have here and there's still gaps, yes.
That's a good way to put it.
I'll ask for permission. Do not go to the UK on your own.
Okay. Can I ask who we're asking for permission?
People above both of our pay grades.
Okay. If I'm going to London, what am I walking into?
Everything will be taken care of.
Oh, I don't like that.
But I need to know. This is something I have to run up the flagpole.
Okay.
And will take time.
Yes.
If you're going to London and that is your goal, I will contact with arrangements. Who all is going?
It would be me and who's here with me? Mary?
Mary.
Mary Olson.
Is this something I need to work on?
Give me another week. Let me progress the research here and I will give you a more definitive answer.
It is the 30th of April, so we'll say May 7th.
As far as your report, the container is still on site at Rassams, buried.
Fuck. Okay.
We were able to get out the stuff that we're translating, which was dozens of clay tablets. Took multiple people to do.
Be careful about this.
About what exactly?
Whatever he was studying is a potential vector.
Understood. But there is a non-potential vector here that we have to deal with, and we have to figure out how.
Consider everything a vector until you confirm that it isn't.
Yeah.
Susan, you're relatively reasonable.
Try to be.
Get the rest of your team on a goddamn leash.
Anyone in particular having problems with?
The phone hangs up.
Petty bitch.
Oh man,
Back to bite her in the ass.
At least we're all focusing it on one character. Sorry, Jen, you're not gonna make it home.
Jen's gonna make a little detour to the Caribbean. have a nice long stay in a very dark hole.
Shit,
Moving
Riley's
in,
totally under the Bermuda Triangle.
moving into May 1.
Just like, oh man, maybe.
If Kazim would like to roll again, since he did fail, he started doing some research and he's like, oh, the fuck, this isn't not useful. So it obviously is taking several days every time you try. If people would like to call Kazim, now is a good time to call Kazim as well before he spends another X number of days that I roll on the dice.
I mean, we'd be
Sterling
in contact.
Right. I'm just saying, is this the role? Do you want to study more of the Nakamic?
I mean, yeah, but 40's rough. You know?
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah.
40's not as bad as you think it is.
Let's go for it.
It's barely under 50-50.
If he called to check in, we'd say, yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
And also watch out.
See?
And while you're doing it, watch out for, espionage of Delta Green organizations that we weren't aware of before we got
Greek
here.
or Italian men in black. I don't know.
I bet they're British.
Bobbity boobity.
God damn it.
I just imagine Peter Griffin in a black suit pretending to be Italian, wanting to assassinate Spencer's character.
I just saw the fairy godmother from Cinderella when you said it. So,
No, that's Peter Griffin from Family Guy when he's doing the fucking Italian stuff.
But my head went straight to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
This is fair.
And then Dragon Ball.
Anything else you want to do on 5-1?
Any more SIGINT?
Nasser's going to train Kurdish.
Yes.
I would allow it.
Plenty of people to talk to.
You speak to Hassam, who is your contact and with, the Peshmerga. Sure, yeah. I will train you.
Cracking out Duolingo.
Now you can crack out Duolingo if you want.
No, I'd say we're buddies. We hang out. I buy him, some food. We're on the base. It's kind of boring. The same, crappy movies.
It's not something you can officially train in, but I like the story, so I want to roll with it.
You're training Kurdish over card games and beers.
Yeah.
There you go.
You play a card and something, and he's like, this is, and he says something, and you're like, what's that? And he goes, stupid, and he flips over his better hand and takes your chips. Stuff like that. Yeah. See, you learned Kurdish as he's like ranking in, your chips. Anything else?
Anything you want to have Warner and Captain Dan do? Training, anything like that?
Finding out what it takes to acquire a bulldozer.
Yeah,
It's not a bad idea.
Or just
the bulldozers are there. There's no problem with acquiring it. It's getting it into enemy lines. They've not advanced far enough that is a particularly safe thing. You could hire your guys again. But that's the thing is like it's safely transporting it. It's getting it loaded, getting someone to get off. You could probably even find a couple of people to run the backhoe if you'd like to expose more people to what you're doing.
No, I mean we have heavy equipment or heavy machinery.
If you're not doing it under duress and you've got a high enough score.
Yeah, I mean Captain Dan's got a 50.
Oh yeah. If you're not doing it under duress, then sure.
Motherfucker drives tanks around. He can drive a bulldozer.
Sort of.
It wasn't Captain Dan that fucked it the first time, was it?
I forget.
Pretty sure it was. It wasn't Hastings.
Oh yeah, no, it was Captain Dan. Yeah. Like it was a critical fail.
Yeah. Rolled a bobcat. There was already
trying to break down the back wall to open a new way out. Can Captain Dan make a military science roll to put a plan in place on how to get the cheapest way to get the bulldozer out to Rassam's and do our stuff?
Yeah, you could pay somebody off to get a bulldozer. It's not that hard. Logistically speaking, you're more worried about driving it safely there, not being attacked, and being able to work for a number of hours. That's more your fear.
Got you.
Moving along.
Do we get an idea of what said requirements are to make that a thing if we decide to do that?
Pay off somebody who has access to a backhoe.
Okay.
Put it on a trailer.
Ooh. Did Kasim learn Fireball or something? What spells do I get?
It doesn't work like that, and it takes a long time, and we haven't gotten that back. We haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah. And just FYI, learning spells
will drive me crazy. Yeah.
Not just that, but like you're more than likely not going to come out on the other end the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whispers of the Spine.
You officially become what they call a vector.
Yeah, just so you know, like the whole thing that like we're trying
Kazim's gonna come back and be like, "Hey, guess what happened?" And we're gonna shoot him.
He's like, look at this. And he points his finger and something catches on fire, but also like you see his eyes go completely black and you see stars reflecting in them.
You just turn into the character from DCC that had the third eye that you had, and it just opens. It's like, oh, boom.
Oh, kill him.
Yep.
So you go to Greece and learn magic. Who'd have thought? No wonder nobody's working over there. Yay, geopolitics.
We're assuming that he gets back from Greece.
Yeah.
Either that or he's going to fly back with his own power.
Some fucking assholes dressed up as Trojan soldiers come out and just fucking murder him in the secret holdings.
All of a sudden, like skeletons in Trojan armor.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
Yep. Oh, that's right. The skeletons.
He's just going to come floating back.
May 3rd, I'm moving to some things that you might want to know.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You receive identities.
Okay.
Each agent has papers supporting multiple identities under a single name. So each character will need a specific Iraqi or Iranian name. I have some samples if people want to use them.
John Smith?
Not quite. You will need to write it down. Now, the things that you get, in fact, it gives me cards. If you'd like, I can send them to you and you can actually have physical cards if you want them or not, which might be useful.
It would be.
So you have paperwork showing that you are a citizen of the Islamic State residing in Mosul. You have paperwork that shows you as an inspector from Al-Hizbah, the Morality and Religious Police, or from the all-female Al-Khansa Brigade. You could be an officer of Amn al-Dakhili, a unit of the Secret Service responsible for maintaining law and order. That's males only. You can be an officer of Alman al-Skari, a unit of the Secret Service in charge of recon and special operations, assigned from Raqqa to Mosul. You can be an officer of Amn al-Dawa, a counterintelligence service in charge of finding traitors and spies, assigned from Raqqa to Mosul. Or an officer of Amn al-Kajiri, the Department of Secret Operations conducted outside the Caliphate, assigned to Operations Command in Raqqa.
We have to pick, or we get all those?
You get all of them.
Nice.
You would already know from sort of like working covertly before. These are all different documents giving you all different identities. You would be a goddamn fool to carry all of them on you at one time. Most of these identities are saying that you are from Raqqa or from other places. You are a part of that group, but you are not in that group. So, for example, walking up to Al-Jabari and showing off that you are in Amn al-Dalwa is probably a poor idea. But if you're approached by random citizens in the Mosul streets, no one will probably say anything. You would also know it is a great idea to memorize these and to only use one covert identity going into Mosul. You could go in, have a look around, drink a pint, wait for it all to blow over, and then leave.
I don't imagine you drinking a lot of pints in the Islamic State. Just
Probably.
saying.
It was a Shaun of the Dead joke.
I know.
Plenty of hookah, though.
We just need to go up to Al-Jabari and, hey, look at these credentials. Do you think they'll pass? Boom! And just
Yep.
suicide mission.
That'll do it.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Because bullets always succeed, but cruise missiles fail.
In games where spells are a thing. So I will send you those documents so you can start coming up with cover stories. We can come up with names on them. And in fact, it might be really, really fun if someone wants to convert the PDF to write the names down for every single character so we have them stored in the Discord.
Yeah, just send it to me. I can do that.
Sure.
Cool.
Spencer.
Yes.
I like chance.
Me too.
Roll a d6.
All right. 3.
It's never a good thing when I get out this book. In that section that you were finding out, you find of a general...
Yeah, you're going to want to write this down.
Yeah.
It's loosely described as a litany that involves concentric circles of fire and describes traveling to alien lands. You realize it would take significant time for you to learn this, but you've stumbled across magic spell.
It doesn't really seem like a magic spell that would help us.
I mean, throw up a gate to a different place and
Toss it in it. Yeah.
send the thing through.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way. I thought about it like a transportation spell, but I'm thinking way too much
It's
like
a
D&D.
okay. This is a
It's a litany of fury. The only reason why I said litany of fury is because litany is how you describe a lot of things in Warhammer 40k. But it's basically like a chant and concentric circles of fire that will open or travel to alien lands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. He's got, I don't know what kind of rolls I'm going to need to make to learn the magic, but he's got a pretty high occult. I mean, for this game, a 60% in occult is really good, right?
This is going to take a significant amount of time. Just FYI.
Yeah, you don't just have this.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not something
we're
that
talking
you
like a
read it.
month.
If you look in the book, it is often described as hours, days, weeks, months in terms of learning. Like, it's a complicated process. You don't have to decide right now, but it would take you some time to figure out. Are you wanting to take what you've learned and go? Basically, I want to know what your character's doing next. Are you searching the Narcotic manuscripts for more?
But I can always come back to this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you're going to have to it's one of those things that, like he said, it's like a litany. You're going to have to sit there with the candles and you're going to have to read it for hours, days, weeks, doing nothing else, focusing on it, intoning it. You're going to have to make some rolls. Like, it's a thing. You don't just.
Yeah. Oh,
Get
yeah.
magic.
No, I figured as much.
So, like,
I just-
concentric circles.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just,
It's literally a holy hand grenade.
yeah,
Throw
I
it out
just
in a pattern.
want a general. Do the rolls maybe determine how long it takes? Perhaps is that
there are factors. Yes.
okay? Okay, so it
What
could.
I'm saying is you could continue reading the Narcotic manuscripts, kind of extract this information and try and learn it. Or you can be like, hey, I'm now taking this. And I don't know what
I
you're
think
doing as a plan.
I think a possible banishing spell would be nice, but
I mean,
We
you're
don't-
assuming that's what that is.
that yeah.
Could be a welcoming
The real
spell.
question, are you going to skim the details of the magic like Lucas? Or are you going to spend the time to
Right.
properly learn it?
Right.
DG does not allow you to skim the magic.
Okay, so if he doesn't choose to spend the time learning this spell, can he continue reading the Narcotic
Yeah,
manuscripts and
He can
find
read them.
other stuff?
Yeah, he can read if it's in there. Yeah, he could read the Narcotic manuscripts for weeks.
He also knows where this particular passage is or whatever, so he
exactly.
can come back to it.
Cliff
All
note.
right, I'll read it again.
Take a
the Narcotic manuscripts in the book says that its study time is months.
Yeah.
So
I got a 20 on my roll, so I get more information.
at some point you are just it's going to get to a point where you're just doing a deep study of it. So something to
Spencer
think
just
about.
kind of
Yeah, right. Super inconspicuous.
I'm gonna learn the magic on the plane ride back.
Yep.
Oh shit! Blow the plane.
Yes.
Put circles with the peanuts. I got a
May 15th, plane explodes over the Mediterranean. Wonder what happened there. We're gonna explain the real history.
So you have your IDs, and so now you could theoretically get into Mosul. I know we're probably getting to a stopping point. I would like to go one more day, unless you have any plans.
That's
No,
great.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then we'll end on this as sort of our end of the episode then. On May 4th, during the day.
Hastings is watching Star Wars.
Nice. Just taking the day off. Give it to that research assistant. It'll be fine. It's like shit levitating in the background. And she's got fucking tentacles pouring out of every orifice.
I've never seen them do this before.
He's like,
How did it know I was into
Chewy.
hentai?
Like the idea that Hastings has got her feet up with a bowl of popcorn. You're just seeing shit happen in the background. Mary,
It's like the
Mary
Flurkin.
Olsen's like, blam, blam, blam. The morning of May 4th, Sadeghi reaches out and confirms that anyone who I said did not die, specifically on camera at Rassam's, is alive and in the hospital. So if you would want to go speak to some of the original team, they are alive and in the hospital.
Okay, good to know.
Jeff would have to refresh us, or I'm pretty sure I wrote it down at one point, but I don't know if I still have the notes. I think 3 people are alive from the original incident. Basically, a bunch of them went and jumped in the truck before the camera went out.
Right.
So the camera didn't necessarily show anyone's death. So everybody who's down in the basement, I'm considering dead.
Okay.
Anyone who made it to the truck, I think it's 2 or 3 people who made it to the truck.
It was me and you, wasn't it?
Too.
Yeah.
So
You're batshit crazy.
Yeah.
those 2 are alive. I'd have to go back and figure out exactly who it is.
Goken and
So we did see what was it? The daughter or the niece or
Azim.
yeah.
Azim.
You've listened to the edit more than I have. I sent characters running in directions.
yeah, I can't remember.
She never went down.
She took off running and screaming, I think. You don't show that she died.
Okay.
But he was specifically looking in the hospital. Those guys would have both been fucked up and injured and would have been in the hospital.
Gotcha.
So if you'd like to use your IDs and go find those guys, you could.
Okay.
I need to either listen, or if Jeff remembers, or we'd have to go figure out who the fuck is still alive.
Yeah, I'll go back and re-listen.
Just remind me.
If you go back and listen to episode 3, when the entity was released, Grady is so vague about who all died that I still have no idea who was left.
And I think we can use that in this particular episode. I think that's maybe not a big bombshell, but otherwise we can sit here for the next 40 minutes and Spencer can keep rolling Narcotic over and over and over again.
I mean, it's kind of fun.
That ain't the way to have fun, son. That ain't the way to have fun, son.
Our title track, Mama Told Me Not to Come, composed by friend of the podcast Ian Shannon, with additional vocals by Lucas Patterson and Cody Grady. You can find more of Ian's work at sleepfortheweary.com. Like what you heard? Check out more episodes online at rancorsbrothel.com, YouTube, or anywhere you can download podcasts. Enjoy talking nerdy? Follow the podcast with other listeners on the Fans of the Rancors Brothel Facebook page. Most of all, keep circulating the tapes. Much love, everybody.
It is, I don't wanna see Mama told